Today you go unicycling along the Elbe River in Dresden, Germany. Your starting point is a bridge which is called the Blue Wonder. Since it's been a while that you've been riding the unicycle, you struggle a little bit getting on it and balancing it out on the first meters. But what you've learned once you don't forget. And so you find your balance and start the trip. You start pedaling to move forward and can't stop moving your legs because otherwise you'll fall off. Even though your legs are the body parts moving the most right now, it's quite an exercise for your glutes, as you're sitting on a saddle only with your booty which you squeeze. With every revolution you do on a unicycle, your lower back keeps slightly moving forward and backward to hold the balance. The sky is overcast, the air is very humid and you're very convinced that this could become quite sweaty. But if the track is fun and the views are pretty, you gladly accept a little sweat. Right now the path is quite narrow, not paved but perfectly good for a unicycle. There's the river Elbe to your right, and from the corner of your eyes you can still see the big blue bridge where you started. It's getting more and more narrow, but you love it. A lot of wildflowers, some are white, some purple, and the grass grown nearly as high as you, it feels like floating through fields. There's just you, a soft breeze, some flies, and as you close your eyes for a little bit, you sense all the beautiful sounds that spring from this wonderful meadow around you. As much as you enjoyed this off-the-beaten-track part of your trip, you decide to get on a paved track at the next divergency. You get a glimpse of the river before you take a left turn, which directly leads you on a paved cycleway. The cycleway follows the course of the river, and as the river slightly turns to the left, so does the track, and so you push a little harder with your left foot. You see fields where they are making hay and hay sticks. You take a deep breath as you love the smell of fresh hay, which you associate with summer and warm, bright days. And it's definitely warm, you realize, especially on this humid day, and even more when you're moving. And it's busier here too. There are a lot of cyclists overtaking you as they are a lot faster having two wheels and not just one like you. But one thing is for sure, when unicycling you're always the center of attraction. You notice that once more as all the oncoming people are staring at you, and even people overtaking turn their head to double check if you're really riding on just one wheel. Some people even reaching out saying, "Wow, how does that work?" or "Oh my god, I couldn't do this." You don't mind those cases. You're doing great on a unicycle moving forward, as if this was the easiest thing on the world. However, after riding quite a while, you're starting to feel your glutes. You know that you have to pass 3 bridges before reaching your final destination, and decide to take a little break at every bridge, so you can rest your booty, plus enjoy the surroundings. Until you get there, you stay focused, squeezing your booty, balancing and moving forward. You're passing more fields with bales of straw that look like randomly placed huge balls on a meadow, which you love to look at as they give a nice picture. You're definitely not the fastest, but after lots of cyclists overtaking you, now it's your turn to be the one getting ahead of other people. You're easily faster than people walking. And as you glimpse pedestrians in front of you, you push a little faster to easily overtake them, which just makes you feel good. On the right, on the other side of the river, you have sights on historical buildings with its Baroque style. You can't see any details, but all this gives a pretty picture. You enjoy riding through this beautiful scenery. And finally, looking forward again, you glimpse the first bridge. It's not as pretty as the one where you started, but you're pleased to be able to get off the unicycle for a quick break. Enjoying this quick rest period before you mount the unicycle again, and that even more elegantly than the first time. Muscle memory does work, you think, as you start pedaling again. After this little rest, you feel very refreshed, and you're pushing even more energetically, nearly impatient to see how the track will continue. Right now it's very calm, not a lot of traffic, just you riding along the river. You can only barely see the river, the water level is quite low, and again from the corner of your eyes you can see the bridge you just left behind off to the next one. Looking forward again, you can't believe where all the people suddenly come from. From all sides, cyclists appear. With more people on the track, you have to slightly turn from time to time, which is no big deal for you. Just putting a little more weight on the pedal in the direction you want to go and you turn. The increasing number of people is a clear sign that you're getting closer to the city center, but so far you can't see the destination, which should be easily visible once close enough. It's still a little distance to go, you admit. It might be halfway, you estimate. Meanwhile, you're passing a beer garden. You find one of the landing stages for boats, and going past the mowed meadow where a young couple is enjoying the view on the river. and you even spot a boat in the distance serving as a ferry to connect it to riversides. You might nearly able to swim across, you think, and you imagine going for a swim as you recognize that you're starting to sweat. Right on cue, a few big trees next to the track provide some shade and tempo, which you joyfully notice. Suddenly a voice behind you makes you jump and nearly fall off. An overtaking cyclist is jokingly saying to you that those people with not sufficient funds could only afford one wheel and have to unicycle. You get the joke and smile, remembering another person earlier that was moving forward on a three-wheeler, offering one of his wheels as you're missing one. You just think that's funny. And when you wake from your little daydream passing the last trees, you finally detect your destination. You totally forgot to keep an eye out, and now there is the famous church called Church of Our Lady. Wow, it's quite a landmark, you think. Pretty impressive already, and you're not even close yet. Your slightly decreasing energy suddenly boosts to its height, as from now on you could hold eye contact with your goal. And if you look very closely, you can even see the next bridge, which you've been waiting for, longing for the next little break. In order to reach the next bridge, you just have to go straight. Okay, let's squeeze the booty even more and get there fast. You see other people taking a break too. And asking your booty, you'd immediately get off the unicycle and rest right here. But you stay disciplined and keep going. It's not far anymore at all. With every push you're getting closer. The bridge closer, and the more clearly you can see this impressive church. Nevertheless, it doesn't distract you from your burning glutes as much as you hoped, so you take out your headphones and put on the most motivating song you could find. This works miracles, cause just after a little while and faster than you expected, you find yourself in front of the next bridge. You're way past half of the entire distance, and the plan is to cover the remaining distance without another break. So most likely for the last time you get on a unicycle. You squeeze your booty and start moving. The plan is clear. You keep going towards the church, which is straight ahead of you. Assuming that it's gonna get busier the closer you get to the city center, you consciously perceive and enjoy the last quieter moments surrounded by the meadows and the river, which is mostly hidden by the grass. You feel very fulfilled, riding on a unicycle, watching the surroundings, listening to the sounds of the summer meadow, enjoying a breeze blowing from time to time, and even it smells like summer, you think. You take it easy, not rushing, but steadily moving forward. You let your eyes wander over the river and see a boat which cruises on the river. The perspective from the boat could be fun too, you think. And looking forward again, you notice that there's another bridge. You're seriously considering to take another break. But then your thoughts get interrupted. It seems like the trek is about to end soon, and you've never really made a plan how to get to the big church. At least it's so big that you can see it from anywhere. You decide to just head towards the church, hoping you do not have to continue unicycling on a big road. As the trek ends and takes a left turn, you focus on your left leg, which makes you turn. And just to make sure that you really wouldn't end up on a big road, you get out your phone and have a look on your map. There are a lot of options now. You're not sure whether to cross the road here or later, but as you see the church to your right, still a few hundred meters away, and because you just love making turns on a unicycle, you are right. And end up on a cyclist lane along the road. You immediately sense hecticness, lots of cars and lots of noises. Rather unconsciously, you adapt to the pace and start moving faster. Having had considered a few minutes ago to take another break at the next bridge, you decide to keep going. It can't be far anymore, and you're full of go. It's not the prettiest part of the trip anyway, just cars and construction going on here, so you don't mind getting forward quickly. The surface gets a little more uneven. You absorb those tiny bumps by slightly moving your booty up and down to hold a balance. A scooter driving turning on the middle of the road totally drags you up. Yes, that's the right direction you love, pushing even faster, trying to keep up with him. Well, no chance. But you're going the highest speed possible on the surface. As fast as possible, but only so fast that you feel safe. There's no point risking too much and falling literally in front of the final destination. Where is it, by the way? You can't see the church anymore, but it can't be far at all. Now you're receiving so many impressions. The beautiful silhouette of Dresden gets closer and clearer. More details of these amazing Baroque-style buildings become visible on the one side, and to your right you notice even more of those boats on the river. As you want to get as close as possible, you take the next left and end up on a street directly leading to the church. It's getting quite bumpy, plus it's slightly going uphill, which means that you have to pedal extra fast to move forward and not lose balance. It's not ideal at all unicycling here, but you squeeze your booty even more tightly, and so even cobblestones are no problem for you. As soon as the street gets wider and leads onto huge space, the historical buildings attract all your attention. You target the middle of the square and fully enjoy the last pedals on the unicycle. You put your head in the neck to be able to see the entire church and are left speechless by its appearance. You made it. I'm impressed. That's moments we move for.